Hello, I am Xarkun, and this is World of Warships Legends. Today I've got a capture the base mode game for you on the map Haven, and we are in the Tier 7 Premium Super Pocket Battleship Siegfried. It's a German cruiser, and I've talked before about how it has all the benefits of a battleship on a cruiser hull, so we don't really need to talk about that. This game is more about positioning and capture the base mode in general. It nearly ends in a throw by the blue team, and also it features the most amusing lemming train on the part of the blue team that I think I've ever seen in this game. Well, it at least has to rank up there. I've probably seen more amusing ones, but perhaps I don't remember. Getting a quick opening salvo on this Bismarck as we go behind the island, sort of hoping we won't remain spotted. And we do hit him for 9.2k, which is not a bad way to start. But the Siegfried's guns, even at long range, the accuracy, honestly, it's not 100% consistent. Sometimes you get wonky German dispersion, but sometimes it's so good. Take a look at this follow-up salvo on that Bismarck, who is still broadside. Citadel. Our damage goes from 9,000 to 37,000. That's a lot of damage from that Citadel on the Bismarck. So, do not sleep on this Siegfried. It does not share the same poor German accuracy as something like the Gneisenau, despite the fact that its accuracy isn't always 100% consistent and on point. Massachusetts giving broadside now. Easy target to shoot at. Unfortunately, we don't lead him quite enough, and we do end up getting 2 ricochets. So sometimes, you get really well rewarded, like with the Citadel on the Bismarck, and sometimes you get disappointment. Now, this is where the lemming train really starts to develop. You can see that I am not interested in pushing out on this flank. Why? Because there's a Siegfried there and a Massachusetts. Both of these ships have large caliber guns, 15-inch guns on the Siegfried, 16-inch on the Massachusetts. Both of them can overmatch my bow, and therefore, if I want to go toe-to-toe with them, I have to angle correctly. And that becomes difficult when there is more than one ship in the vicinity that you have to angle against. And so pushing in against multiple ships with large caliber guns like this, not advisable. That's why I'm disengaging. But you can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships coming over to this flank, and there are 3 enemy ships right there. 3. Actually, you might even say there is a 6th ship coming over this way, because the Gneisenau looks like he's at least pointed in this direction. So, 6 ships versus 3, all in one side of the map. As a consequence, my team has given up map control on this, I guess you would call it the northwestern flank of Haven up here. We've got a single destroyer up north. He's so far away that he's not even within our vision range. We can't even see him. He is spotting the Bismarck and the Helena, though, and so we're going to try to assist him, because it looks like the Helena must be shooting at him. Can't be shooting at anybody else, because that blue destroyer is the only one there. Unfortunately, the Helena goes dark, so maybe we can get a shot on the Bismarck. Either way, our team has given up map control on this side of the map, and they're going to park over there by that island where the enemy Siegfried is. That enemy Siegfried is doing a thing that someone, I think Juice the Goose, calls claiming the island for Kriegsmarine. That Siegfried has claimed that island. It is his island. Nobody is getting past it. And despite the fact that there are 5 ships over there versus that single Siegfried and a Massachusetts and I think a Surrey out in the distance by the map border, those 5 friendly ships on my team are going to remain there in a cluster for the entirety of the game. They're not going to push past that island. That Siegfried is single-handedly preventing them from pushing. And you can see that the Reds have apparently noticed this development, and they are coming over this way to shoot at my team, who, once again, are all clustered on one side of the map. We have no map control of this northern part of the map or the western part of the map. I'm the only ship over here that is in any kind of position to do anything. And basically, our base is wide open from the west and the north. If the enemy notices this and decides to push aggressively toward it, they will be able to envelop that cluster of blue ships hiding from the enemy Siegfried in a crossfire. And that is something I can't let happen. It is extremely important to not concede map control in capture the base mode battles like my team has done, because it leaves you vulnerable. If the enemy gets into your base, they don't even have to capture it. They still get the upper hand, because them being on the base stops your passive income of points. You can see we're gaining 2 points with every tick. If a red ship occupies this cap circle, those points will stop. And if no blue ships are occupying the red cap circle, then they will continue to gain points from their base. And so that is one way, that is a scoring move, essentially. Now that destroyer, who finally is benefiting from some assistance from me, is able to smack the Bismarck, and we're able to finish him off with the rear turret of Justice. Now, luckily for us, the enemy team didn't really press its advantage. They had some ships out here on the western side of the map, but the majority of their ships have gone to the east to face off against my stuck-in teammates, who still have not pushed past that island that the enemy Siegfried is occupying. Kagero out there, seeing if we can get some shots on him, but we can't. He is their only destroyer. Our destroyer is still alive. And because I came over here to assist our destroyer, and keep in mind, I didn't provide him with much assistance at all. All I did was help him shoot at the Bismarck a little bit. But now, his path toward the enemy base is essentially clear. Aside from the Surrey out there, who is somebody I would like to shoot at. But I'm kind of turning in toward where the enemy is, and then I think better of it, because I see that the Surrey is heading sort of toward my destroyer, and there was also a Helena somewhere out here on this northwestern side of the map. You can kind of see his grayed out outline just to the right of the line on the minimap that shows where I was looking a second ago. So he could be anywhere right now, and I suspect he might be pushing toward our base. I obviously want to prevent him from reaching it, and I also want to see if I can take out this Surrey to help out my destroyer, because it looks like he is the only ship really standing between my destroyer and the enemy base. But it looks like my destroyer has other ideas. Looks like he might be going for that Kagero, and in fact the Kagero goes down, which takes away the enemy team's only destroyer. We still have ours, so we do have an advantage now, and in fact we are ahead on ships. So things are looking okay, but this battle could still go either way. Now enter the Surrey, who does appear to be shooting at my destroyer teammate, so we respond to him with a citadel there, try to gain his attention. Of course, since we have battleship caliber guns, we are fully capable of overmatching the Surrey's armor, and if the Surrey wants to turn and give broadside like that, well, his citadel is really exposed, so we're able to hit it twice easily and take him down. I had hoped that my destroyer teammate would go for the enemy base, but it looks like he's going for the rest of the enemies instead, which isn't the end of the world. We do have a very nice ship count now, but I told you that this game would nearly result in a throw. That lemming train, that cluster of black hole spuds over there on the eastern side of the map, I think all of them are on very low health, and they're going to start dropping like flies. Enter the enemy Helena, who we are outspotting, which is fantastic given our concealment build here. He is pushing toward our base, and there is nobody but me to stop him. Luckily, I am well suited to the task with my 15-inch guns and my excellent maneuverability for a battleship-like vessel. The Helena is behind the island and out of sight, but we're going to push toward him. There's really nothing to stop us from pushing toward him. All he can rely on is his guns, and they do fire quickly. They are capable of putting out the damage, but he doesn't have torpedoes, so in a brawl, I have every advantage. And besides, they are 152mm guns. I'm not convinced that the armor piercing can actually penetrate the Siegfried's side armor, but our 15-inch battleship shells can penetrate his. Another citadel, and really, it's only going to take one more hit to kill this Helena. Now, take a look at the other side of the map as this Helena goes again behind an island to escape deletion, at least temporarily. One friendly ship goes down. That's a Helena, okay? So now it's 5 versus 3. No problem still, right? Well, my team is still clustered up in a circle of black hole spuds. The destroyer is finally moving away, and now I think he's making his push toward the enemy base, which is fantastic, because the Helena is going to enter our base, and I am not going to be able to deal with him immediately. Just as the enemy King George takes down our Surrey, okay, 4 versus 3. They just need to kill another ship, and we are even on ships. The points have approached each other. The Helena is moving toward our base and more island cover. We're not able to take him out on the way, and he is going to escape to momentary respite. And there he enters our base, starts capping it, and stops our flow of points, which is exactly what I was talking about earlier when I said you don't even want the enemy to get on your base because it's a scoring play. 484 to 430, and now 424 to 470 as another blue ship goes down. So, suddenly, it doesn't look so much like we have a win. Things can change really, really quickly. Never look at the scoreboard and the raw score and say to yourself, we've got a 5-ship lead and a points lead. That means we've got a guaranteed win. No, we don't. Mostly because of our team's positioning, concentrated in one corner of the map. Because they were not spread out and could not move, the enemy was able to pick them off one by one and bring the score down to this. The only saving grace is that I am back here in our base able to defend it. If I was hanging out with my teammates over there, I don't know if this game would have gone the same way. We take out the Helena, eliminate the threat to our base, and thankfully our destroyer, who is still alive, is inside of the enemy base. So now we have a points lead. The enemy is not gaining any points from their cap circle, but the enemy King George is closing in on the Nagato, and the point situation is still very, very close. And of course, the enemy Massachusetts takes down the Nagato and puts his team ahead on points again. There is less than 1 minute left to go, and basically, this is almost a throw. Almost. However, the enemy team is not gaining points because our destroyer is on their base, but we are gaining points. The only question is it enough to push us past the finish line before time runs out? 30 seconds left. King George, not the best armored ship ever, lots of plating 26 millimeters. 380 millimeter guns can overmatch it. So we do get a chunky hit on him with 14 seconds left to go, but it's not enough to take him out. Thankfully, the friendly destroyer comes through, torpedoes the Massachusetts, puts us ahead on points, and we scrape by with a victory, even though it could have really gone the other way. So I hope you enjoyed the video and found it informative. If so, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Goodbye.